Lennox? Yeah. Why? Because.
And oop. And oop.
Okay, so we celebrated your birthday last weekend. You turned 28, 29, honey?
Yes.
And we celebrated by we went for a drink at a fancy bar, and then we went out to eat at a restaurant. Sort of, I wouldn't call it upscale, but it's been on our target, our hit list, in our crosshairs for a while. The bar we went to is called Revival at the Sawyer. The Sawyer is a super fancy dancy, chic boutique hotel in Sacramento, California. And then we went to Sauced Barbecue and Spirits. That's its technical name, its formal name. They're both located in a outside mall called Downtown Commons, commonly referred to as DOCO. They were a minute walk from each other. So let's start at the Revival at the Sawyer. We watched a TV show, a reality show called Below Deck, and it's the greatest television show in the history of broadcasting. And the charter guests, the yacht guests, the people who rent a yacht for a few days and party it up, are always drinking espresso martinis, colloquially called Espressi Marties. So we've been wanting an espresso martini. Mm-hmm. We don't want to make it.
I've never had one. I don't know how to make it. This is like the height of being fancy to me.
Right.
Now that I've been watching Below Deck.
Yeah.
And this is what all the rich people are drinking on the yachts.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got to have one of those once in my life.
Yeah. So I reached out to them, Revival, and I was like, do you make espresso martini? This was a few months ago. And they said, yeah, okay, no problem. Turns out they don't technically make an espresso martini. They make what's called, what they call a cold brew teeny. But it was the same thing, and whatever. We were like, we wanted to feel fancy. We felt fancy. So the bar Revival, it's very like Palm Springs. It's like kind of beachy, kind of tropical, kind of deserty, fun vibe. Yeah.
Super fun. Yeah. The wallpaper is like all palm leaves, and so a lot of green, and the furniture is a lot of green and woods, kind of a retro vibe.
Yeah, like backyard furniture from the 1960s or 70s. And then it was cold outside, but one entire wall is just floor to ceiling windows or doors or whatever. They can open them, and they have a pool out there. So they weren't open when we were there. But I could totally see that being like a cool scene, a cool vibe for young hip people. Not for me, not for us, but if you're young and you're cool, you might want to try that place. So they gave you free champagne right off the bat, free champy.
They knew it was my birthday, and I felt so special. 2 employees greeted me and said happy birthday.
Yeah,
I was like, wow.
Yeah, well,
this is nice.
Revival and Sauced, they outsourced their reservation system. No, they outsourced their resis to OpenTable.com, which is a well-known dining reservation website /app. And so you can put little notes in there. So for both Revival and Sauced, I put wifey's birthday. And so at Revival, 2 different employees wish you happy birthday. And at Sauced, no one wished you happy birthday. But, Revival's much more hand-holding, much more personal service. We got the cold brew teenies. Now going in, I was like, okay, this is gonna be pricey. I was thinking $13, $14, because this is a fancy bar, very upscale. But it turns out they were $17 each.
Ooh.
Yeah. So initially we were like, we'll get a drink or 2. And after I saw the $17 price, I was like, let's get 1 drink. But a cold brew teeny is described as Kettle One vodka, Mr. Black coffee liqueur, cold brew, Gifford vanilla, and walnut liqueur. What'd you think, honey? Thoughts, feelings, comments, reflections?
It was so delicious.
It was good.
It tasted just like coffee ice cream.
Yeah.
It was so yummy.
Yeah.
And it was very strong.
Yes.
When we first got it, it looked pretty tiny
Yeah.
in the glass.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is $17 for this little amount.
Yeah.
But it packs a punch.
Yeah.
Like, we were both feeling like kind of tipsy after just that one drink.
It was a good buzz. It was a fun buzz. And like, I'm not really a mixed drink person. I'm not a cocktail person. I've never really been that kind of person. I like beer, but there's a definite difference between a handcrafted cocktail made by some expert bartender, I assume, versus drinking a Michelob Ultra from your fridge.
It's a different experience.
Yeah. And so like one cold brew teeny, it was $17, but when we were walking on the way to Sauce, I was like, wow, this is a really good buzz.
Yeah, we were buzzed for sure.
Is this what the Jeff Bezos feels like all the time when he's on his yacht? Or it was just a complete 180 from drinking beer and 8 beers later you want to die and feel like crap. But the cold brew teeny, I was like, oh, this is good stuff. I'm loving it. And we were out and about. It really hit me. It made my mood. So cold brew teeny and espresso martini, traditionally they come with 3 coffee beans on top for good luck, I guess. And so when in Rome, honey, so we both ate one of our coffee beans. It was not good.
I don't think we were supposed to eat them.
I know.
They were really hard.
It was like an old corn nut. An old raunchy corn nut.
This is just an example of one of the many reasons I felt so out of place there.
Yeah.
Like, these were fancy people.
Yeah.
I felt like I was from out of town, come to
Yeah.
visit the big city.
Yeah.
I felt so out of place.
Have y'all heard of Marysville before? Well, you bring that up. Just feeling out of place, like, because it's a ritzy joint. I kept looking around to see Vladi Divac. I don't know who are the other celebrities in Sacramento.
Is Lisa Gonzalez here?
Lisa Gonzalez, Chris Webber. That's where the celebrities in Sacramento stop. But I kept looking around to see if there was someone more important I should be looking at, besides paying attention to myself and you. But then there were no other celebrities, but everyone else like was looking around for someone more important than themselves. So it was a very odd vibe, odd dichotomy. But overall, I mean, $17. My mom is cringing right now, is jumping out the window. But it was worth it. It was a good buzz. It was a good drink. I'm glad we did it. It was a fun time. Had me feeling good. And then we walked down to Soust, which is also in Doco. We almost went to Echo and Rig, which is a super fancy restaurant, I guess. But my problem with them was that their sides are potato chips. So you get like a super duper fancy steak, and then your side is potato chips.
How do they get away with that?
I don't know.
You should not have that at a really fancy restaurant.
I'm sure the potato chips are fabulous, but they can't be that much better than like Lay's, the yellow bag, or Sun Chips or whatever.
I don't want a $25 rack of lamb with a side of potato chips.
Yeah, like what the heck, dude? Make some mashed potatoes or something. So we went to Sauce, the BBQ, and Spirits. Well, first off, honey, sauced. Why the past tense of the verb? Why not souse or sousy? Or saucing, or we be saucing, or I'm going sauce, I'm out here saucing. Past tense. Don't you know how to write? You got to write in the current tense or in the future. So you gotta have some sense of urgency with your content. That's what Judy Farah taught me.
Okay.
My coworker Richard Beeson had been there twice. The first time he said it was right when they opened, so it wasn't that great. But that's fair because when a restaurant opens, they're still kind of getting things together. But he went a second time. He said it was better, but he didn't. He said it was like it's still just it's not a fantastic restaurant. So we got there and they were super busy, tons of people, and it's a huge space.
It sounded like we were inside the arena and a basketball game was happening. Like it was so loud.
Yeah.
We couldn't hear each other.
Yeah.
My ears hurt.
Yeah. And it's definitely geared towards sports fans. There's huge TVs everywhere. A couple of them were 80 inches. But the service was good and quick. They have axe throwing. Not at this particular location. Oh, Sauce Barbecue is a small chain. Most locations are in Northern California. There's a few in Southern California. But a few of their restaurants have axe throwing. And it just recently ended in Sacramento. Like mid-January, they ended the axe throwing. So did someone bleed?
A horrifying accident occurred.
Yeah.
We just missed out on it.
Yeah.
Would we have done it if it was there?
That's what I'm wondering. I think it'd be cool, but if I eat, I want to eat.
I have no desire to throw an axe at
Really?
a target. It doesn't appeal to me. I think you'd be good at it.
Really?
Well, you're very strong.
I am. I lift. Well, it's kind of like on the same vibe as like miniature golf to me, or an escape room, which I hated. But I would throw an axe. Well, we were looking at the website and reading up on it, and like you get an hour of time when you reserve axe throwing. I don't want to do it for an hour.
It's way too long. I need 5 minutes.
You know what? It's like freaking dartboard.
Yeah.
In a bar. Hop on it for 5 or 10 minutes and then it's like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. But I would be down. But yeah, I don't need an hour of it. And if I'm eating, I just want to eat. We got there a little bit before 4:30. Our resis were at 4:30. And we stood around for about 10 minutes. Super busy. People walking in were being told 90-minute queue. But then on the other hand, like they had open seating at the bar and pub style tables, like the higher chairs. So you could walk in and eat right away. But if you wanted to sit down at a formal table, 90 minutes, to me, that's too long. Like if I heard 90 minutes, I would turn
absolutely
right around.
No way I'm waiting for that. We've
actually went to Sauced, and they told us something like hour 15, and we were like, all right, see ya. Because in Doco, there's Panda Express, there's Pizza Press, there's Gym Boys, which, okay, they're not like high end. They're fast cash or whatever. But you get your food really quickly. I don't think I would ever wait 90 minutes. Our podcast friend Megan from the What the Chuck podcast, she recently waited 30 minutes for her food. I think that's too much. I think they should disclose that ahead of time. Like, we're really backed up right now or whatever. Teresa called in sick. So it's going to be half hour, 45 minutes till you get your food. But if they don't disclose that up front, after 25 minutes, I might walk out. Although we did wait like 45 at Streets of London.
Yes, we did. Yeah. And we were the only ones there.
Yeah. And it was right when they opened. It was completely empty. What was the pandemic? Remember they served my whatever I ordered, some mashed potato, something, but they served it in like a styrofoam cup, like when you go to the deli at Safeway. Because the COVID pandemic, Gavin said no dishes, no silverware.
No washing dishes.
So stupid. So we stood there for 10 minutes, but we came a little bit before 4:30. But 4:31, 4:32, we were seated right away. So it went off flawlessly. So right next to me, where I was sitting, we sat. We do the thing where we sit right next to each other.
Yeah.
We don't sit across.
No, we want to sit next to each other.
Yeah, because we're in love. And plus, we had the view of all views.
Yes. Our backs were up against the wall, so we had a purview of the entire restaurant. It was great for people watching.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So much activity. There was a kid, 4, 5, 6, right next to me. The party right next to us, a family. He was constantly on his tablet, and I was like, "What's up with that?" But you're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with little kids being on a tablet if you're in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Because it's so difficult to keep a kid quiet, seated, not running around being crazy.
Eating, focused on their food. It's literally impossible.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
And then in front of us, there was 2 older gals, both wearing Disney merch. It was quite the sight. So our waiter, his name was Trevor, young kid, good kid, and I liked him. So I got a beer, and I could order it in the 16 or 22 ounce size, and I said 22 ounce, and he said, "Good choice, sir." And I said, "Well, thank you, Trevor." And then another thing he did was like we ordered hush puppies. We want hush puppies for our appetizer, and Trevor responded with, "Okay, we'll go and get that started for you, sir." And I was like, "Oh, wow, Trevor, you're so nice." And his hair, he had like the curly hair from the dark-haired guy in Hall Oates. It was quite the
He
same.
looked straight out of the 80s.
Yeah.
But you know what? He was rocking that look.
Oh my gosh.
He's bringing it back single-handedly.
He was killing it. He was slaying it, girl. To the point where like I got connected to him, and when he was helping other tables, I got a little jealous. I was like, "Listen here, Trevor. What about us? What about what we had?" So we got a couple beers, honey. You got lead dog oranges, and IPA. No, first of all, they only serve it in the 16 ounce. They don't, because the alcohol content is higher.
That's what Trevor told us.
Yeah. Like,
so they won't give you too much of it because it's higher alcohol content.
Yeah, that's stupid. Like, then give me 2 16 ounces, Trevor. Yeah, that was odd. And then I got the peanut butter and jelly beer. I'm a sucker for peanut butter and jelly, anything. The formal name is Belchin's Beaver PB&J Blonde. What did you think about your orange IPA, honey?
It was good. I like
good.
flavored beers.
Yeah.
And orange is a good one.
Yeah, it wasn't offensive. My PB&J, I thought I didn't taste the PB&J, but it was good.
No, but you know what? I could smell it.
Yeah.
Because we each had a drink of each other's.
Yeah.
When I brought it to my face, I could smell the PB&J, but then I didn't really get it in the flavor.
Yeah, that's fine, but I want to taste it.
Exactly.
Maybe serve me a PB&J so I could dunk it in the beer. Okay.
Ooh, what if they circled the rim with peanut butter and jelly?
Oh, girl.
Oh.
Now you're talking. As a little garnish. At every table, they have 4 barbecue sauces. I stuck to the hot tin roof. It's the spicy one. And then there was also the Georgia Gold mustard, which is a mustard-based sauce. I thought the hot tin was really good. It was hot. It was spicy. The gold mustard was okay, but I definitely stuck to the hot tin roof barbecue sauce. Okay. Now let's talk about our food. Appetizer, we got cheesy cornbread fritters, aka hush puppies, described as chopped applewood bacon, sharp cheddar, and diced jalapeno, served with house peach chutney and brown sugar cinnamon butter. Thoughts, feelings, comments, reflections, my love?
I can't believe all those ingredients were in it because everything was totally lost.
Yeah.
It was just like a mushy, kind of bland, potato-y type of texture.
Well, it's fried dough.
Yeah.
And fried cornbread. But I gotta say, it was good.
I thought the only thing good about it was dipping it in either of those sauces that you mentioned.
Yeah.
But if you ate it just by itself, to me, it was not good. It was not worth eating it.
Well, they're like the little fried pancakes that you can get at Denny's. They're just balls of dough that are fried up. I thought they were fantastic. I would have preferred they were more like desserty because they were so sweet. Especially with the brown sugar cinnamon butter. I would have wanted. I mean, I enjoyed them, but I would have assumed that they were more savory, being an appetizer and not dessert. But I thought they were outstanding. The peach chutney, but like you said, the brown sugar, cinnamon butter. You're dipping fried cornbread in there.
Yeah, that was divine.
Bussin'. It was a dessert vibe. It was super yummy, but there was too much. Maybe because we had a beer and then we had a espresso martini or whatever, a cold brew teeny. But halfway through the hush puppies, I was like, this is too much food. I'm getting full. But we ate it. Okay, I ate it. So let's start with your sides, honey. You got sweet honey cornbread as one of your sides. So, well, you got sliced brisket with 2 sides of sweet honey cornbread and sweet potato casserole. Your sides, honey, the cornbread, the casserole.
The cornbread was cornbread.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Yeah.
The sweet potato casserole was my favorite part of the whole meal.
Yeah.
Ooh, it was smooth. It was creamy. It was just a delicious flavor.
Yeah. It was good. They were both good. Yeah, the casserole was the star of the show. The cornbread was okay. I dipped it in the brown sugar cinnamon butter, and that's where it was at.
That makes everything better.
But yeah, you had both your sides were sweet, but I was digging them. They were a good time. Your sliced brisket, honey, it's described as all natural, locally sourced, hormone-free brisket, sliced to order. What did you think, honey?
It was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't very bussin'.
Yeah. It wasn't much flavor, wasn't much going on. But the one thing that was going on was the fat. The amount of fat in your brisket, and later to come, my freaking burnt ends was unreal. Unbelievable, astronomical. The amount of fat in this beef was just, it was off-putting.
It was like half of the weight of what they put on your plate is actually fat.
Yeah. And with my burn ends, it's disguised because they're black and charred or whatever. But your brisket, it was just like long slices of it, and it was just like a freaking like when you have cake, and there's just like raspberry filling in the middle. Like instead of raspberry filling, it was just fat in the middle.
Ew.
And then like brisket on top and bottom. It was just, I don't know. It wasn't good. Well, so with burnt ends, you can do brisket, which I did, but you can also get pork belly. And if you haven't had pork belly, it's fat. It's like straight up fat. And I can appreciate it. I can dig it. But like 1 or 2 pieces. And then it's like, okay, I don't need pure fat in my mouth. So I went with the brisket burnt ends. But it was like I was eating pork belly, dude. It was like you had pork belly, I had pork belly. It was just so much fat in the proteins. It was disgusting. But my sides, I got the jalapeno sweet heat slaw, gluten free, honey. There was heat there with the jalapeno, which I dug, but the slaw was not bussin'. Like the cabbage was just sad, and I don't like KFC coleslaw, but I would put KFC coleslaw above this slaw. So I wasn't a fan of that. But then my other side was stone ground jalapeno cheese grits, which is the first time I've had grits in my life. I just wanted to order just to try something different. But I thought they were good. They were like just a more smoother, more pureed mashed potato, but really good. I really enjoyed it. And then I got brisket burnt ends. And this is from the menu. No, comma, they're not burnt, comma. Twice smoked and twice rubbed cubes of brisket from the juicier point section. Toss in their own au jus and tin roof sauce. Limited quantities. Ask your server. I asked Trevor. He said, yes, we have them. But yeah. Oh, well, first off, there were 10 burnt ends. This cost $26. Okay, so it's $2.60 for each freaking burnt end, and a burnt end is like the size of a quarter. So heck, a ripoff right there. But yeah, super fatty. Like some bites of burnt end were 80% fat. It was just, ugh. Of course I ate it. Okay. I'm a real man. But yeah, just way too much fat. And your brisket and my burnt ends.
Some people like that, I guess. That's a preference. Like some people
Yeah.
like a really fat on their meat.
Well, that's what I can't figure out. Is it like a lifestyle? Is it an editorial choice? Or is it just being cheap and saying, give us the cheap crap, the fatty crap, and we'll serve it to these old women wearing Disney merchandise, wearing a Mickey Mouse t-shirt. So our total was $93.52. Jeez Louise. I know. My mom just jumped out the window again. I tipped $17. It was more than 15%, less than 20%. Because Trevor was cool, but we didn't need a whole lot of tending to. I mean, he just brought us our food and we ate it. Overall, nah. Like, I dug the sides. I dug one of your sides. I dug one of my sides. I thought the hush puppies were outstanding. We're out of sight. But the meat was huge disappointment, huge miss. And for $100,
We'll never go back.
Yeah. One thing I thought was they need wet naps, dude, or wet towels. Going back to below deck, like KFC in the '80s would give you wet, moist towelettes.
Yes.
Sauce needs to do that. Get on that. The only thing I thought about at the end of our $100 sojourn into a fatty pig, or it's a cow, right? Brisket's a cow.
Yeah, I think.
I just wanted to floss, dude. I just wanted to floss. There was so much leavings up in your mouth. Yeah. Revival. We'll go for one drink. We'll spend $40 for
Revival was excellent. I would love to go back.
Yeah.
Just once more in my life.
Yeah. Well,
one more espresso martini.
It's $40, but we just need one drink.
Yeah.
And we get the vibe of Palm Springs. But yeah, sauce, never again. Maybe a hush puppy appetizer. Maybe we could order a sweet casserole. My wife is shaking her head no in disagreement. Okay, I agree. But yeah, well, that food, yeah, no bueno. But what if there was axe throwing involved,
Ooh.
honey? And this is just a bigger statement to where I am in my life. But being out brought me down. Like I was like, and we walked from West Sac to Doko, which isn't a huge walk. It's 25-ish minutes. But I just wanted to come home. And after eating all that fat, I just wanted to lay in my bed.
When we were at Sauced, I was like, I'm so ready to go home. And we still had to like finish eating, pay the bill, walk back to our car. Yeah. I was like, get me home, get me showered, get my sweatpants on.
Yeah. I am glad we went out and I enjoyed it, but home is where the heart is. It's nothing better than just taking a shower and lying in bed, watching Below Deck, and staring at cat videos with my wifey right next to me. We were gone for 3 hours. It felt like 24 hours, dude. Like, we left it a little after 3. We got home a little after 6. And I was like, that was only 3 hours. It seemed like we were gone for a week. It's just where we are in life.
Yeah. We're over it.
Yeah.
Take me to bed, honey.
I will. I am. I do. On our way back from Soust, we saw a lost dog. And that's like the most heartbreaking thing, because I was wondering, does the dog grasp what's going on? The peril it's in, the danger. Of course, we didn't do anything about it because we wanted to come home. Did I mention that? But we walked a little further, and then coming back opposite us, or coming towards us, someone had grabbed the dog. I mean, like, nice. They just kind of got the dog's leash in their hand, and they were walking it back to Drake's, which is a restaurant/bar in West Sacramento. So, like, someone took responsibility for this dog, and God bless them, but That's not me. What possesses someone to do that? And what's their next call of action?
They have a good heart, honey.
Yeah?
I wouldn't have done it either.
Strike one for me.
I'm with you. Although, yeah, I'm glad somebody did something. I wonder if it found its owner. That is so sad.
Yeah.
I hate seeing that. And it was such a cold night, too.
Yeah.
And the sun had gone down.
Yeah.
Poor little puppy.
Yeah. All right. Revival, thumbs up. Sauced, thumbs down. People who save lost dogs, God bless you. Alrighty. Well, are we done, honey?
Yep.
Okay. Well, we're done.
And oop.
Alrighty. Well, that's the end of the program. It's been fun, but not really. Let's all try a little harder next time. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, review, and rate and share. Or don't. Do whatever you want. You're a grown-up. Make your own decisions. Do what's best for your family. Please be sure to use our promo code for HelloFresh. We don't have a promo code for HelloFresh. Goodbye, my parasocial podcast friends. I love you. My wife and I love you. We hope you have a good day today and tomorrow. And sure, we may not have saved that dog, but we're still good people and we're still a good person. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. Thank you for caring. I hope you have a wonderful day/night. Oh, bye-bye.
And oop.
We got chicken.
Is that crispy, juicy tender? I can't eat no longer. And oop.